to summarize our conditions. First one, nuclear power is the only energy source that can both keep pace with Chinese growth and cause the least environmental harm. And right, a 1 gigawatt nuclear power plant needs only 2 to 3 to 30 tons of fuel a year. But a coal plant generating the same capacity burns 2 to 3 million tons of coal, which and that coal plant will produce 200,000 tons of coal ash a year, as well as releasing into the atmosphere large quantities of carbon dioxide. Second one is that China needs to expand nuclear power to prevent fossil fuel use and pollution from Campbell, Alberta Oil Magazine contributor to that vote. Without pursuing nuclear power, the communist government risks failing to meet its non-fossil fuel energy production targets and facing the wrath of an increasingly pollution-averse populace.
How many people die every year? Read the quote.
Okay. Air pollution in China kills 470,000 people a year.
Who's the author? What's the date?
It's from Dr. Wayne from the University of Utah, Dr. Gu from UN Populations Division 2011.
Read the quote.
Recent 3 decades, there was it is estimated that outdoor air pollution led to about 470,000 premature deaths in China in 2000. Despite frequent media coverage and increasingly scholarly writings on China's environmental threats, little comprehensive analysis of the environmental and health link is available. Handful of studies rely on ecological data, which are immediately subject to the ecological fallacy, considering the key interest is.
Let's go on.
Okay. Now, right. Third one is China will only build new Generation 3 nuclear power plants that are safer than Generation 2 plants, and R&D and new standards and regulations, and improves emergency management and responsible to prevent accidents. From the World Nuclear News. Okay, how much time now?
Minute and a half.
Minute and a half. Okay. Now the last one is that the China's nuclear power plants will reprocess fuel 3 to 5 times, reducing nuclear waste. So that means that nuclear power doesn't really release that much waste, kind of other people say. Right. Okay. Now, in their first speech, they mentioned about uranium imports causes proliferation of nuclear weapons. Now, in response, countries with civilian nuclear power plants are more likely to submit to international agreements and inspections than countries without. Civilian nuclear powers are less likely to make nuclear weapons than countries without nuclear power plants. It should be pointed out that nations which possess and operate civilian power reactors conform to the current nuclear non-proliferation agreements. Thus, paradoxically, the possession of civilian power reactors is inversely associated with proliferation risks.
Who's the author? What's the date?
The author is by a nuclear energy researcher called Barton in 2011. Now, they mentioned about nuclear power makes water control impossible and causes radioactive causing cancer and affecting civilian health. Well, we need to say that nuclear power the National Resources Defense Council say that it's very safe. They spent 9 months and covered 11 areas of safety inspecting on the nuclear power plants in China, including sites of, okay.